Hello everybody, good morning. I'm going to make some Tuscan style chicken soup. So I've got this roasted here that I had, and there's still quite a bit of chicken there. Well, I don't think I'm going to get any of the meat off of it until it's cooked. I'm going to put that whole chicken carcass in there. It's got a thigh, a wing, a leg, the whole back. So there's still quite a bit of chicken there. And I'm going to scrape all this goodness right out of the bottom of this bag, because that's where all your juices were, and that makes some really good stock. And we want a good chicken stock as a base of our soup. And it basically turned to gel. And that's garbage. Now we do need to add water. And I'm not really going to put seasoning in there yet. I'm going to wait and season it after my chicken. I mean, this chicken is basically cooked. I'm going to go ahead and cut some of these pieces off. And I should have done that before I put it in the water, or put water in there. But I'm just cutting a few of them loose. Like I said, you can do that before you put it in there. Don't do like I did and wait, put your water in there and then do it. Or you don't even have to do it. You can just leave it in there and let it cook. But you know me, sometimes I do stuff backwards. I spilled some of that juice on the stove. And you know me, I have to clean it up. We're going to just turn it on. Now we're going to let that cook for about an hour or so, until basically the bones are falling apart. The meat is falling off of the bones, and it makes a really good stock. And then I'll bring you back and we'll debone everything, get all the bones and all the pieces we don't want in our soup out, and then we'll continue on. But this is the way I start. Now, if you don't have a roast tier chicken and you don't want to go to the trouble of buying a whole chicken, you can certainly use 2 chicken thighs or 2 breasts already cooked. Or you can put your breast in the pot, cook them, make your broths, take your breast out, shred them, and then put your breast back in. I'm using what I've got because I already had the whole chicken roasted. And I've been eating on the breast meat and some of the other, the legs and one thigh and all that. But I had tons of it left. So I'm making some Tuscan chicken soup. And we'll bring you back as soon as my bones are cooked and we've made our good thick broth. Well, I'm back. And you see, I've got my chicken stock. I've got my chicken out, already deboned. And I see a couple of more pieces of chicken fat that came up to the top. I don't like the fat or the skin in my soup, so I try to get all that out. You need at least 4 cups of good, strong chicken stock. And I'm over here chopping up, well, you really can't see me. I'm over here chopping up some carrots. You need two medium carrots. I'm going to turn my pot back on and go ahead and get it hot. Because you know it takes a little longer for your carrots and other stuff to cook, because we've already got our chicken cooked. Everything else we've got in there is already cooked except our onions, and we're going to fix those in just a second. But I'm going to bring my carrots over here. It's just 2 medium chopped carrots. And we're going to put them right in the pot with our chicken stock. And that's going to be heating up. And I neglected to get my potatoes out. But I'm grabbing them now. You need 2 medium-sized potatoes. They don't have to be great big ones, but you do need 2 potatoes. And if you'll scrape your potatoes before you put your peelings in the compost pile, more than likely they will not sprout on you. So I'm going to go ahead and scrape these because I want to put them in the compost. Yeah, the peelings will come off a lot thinner if you scrape them instead of peeling them, and therefore they're not going to sprout once they're in the compost pile. I think you can see what I'm doing here. I'm so limited with space in my kitchen, so I'm just letting those scrapings go right in the sink. I'll take them out and put them in a container when I'm finished. And then take them right out to the compost. Whoops. And like I said, if you don't have the chicken, the whole chicken like I did to use, you can definitely use chicken breast or anything like that. Now I've got a small saucepan here. I'm going to go ahead and put some olive oil. I've got about a half of a large onion here I'm going to chop up. If you have kids that don't like to eat onions in their food, just put onion powder. Because I'm going to put onion powder in there as well. I'm going to drop the onion in the floor. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. I'm going to add my onion to my saucepan. I'm going to add garlic that I got out of the garden. I've got 2 or 3 cloves of garlic in there, good size ones. And I'm just going to chop them a little bit. I'm going to come over here and put that right in my saucepan with my onions. Now, if you don't have fresh garlic out of the garden, like I do, just, if you got chopped garlic in the jar, just put you a couple of teaspoons of garlic in there, or just use garlic powder. Now, I got, let's see, I want thyme. I'm going to season my onions and my garlic with some thyme. About a teaspoonful. going to go ahead and put some garlic powder in my soup here. I'm going to put onion powder. And it doesn't shake out too good when you got it over something steamy. So I'm just going to dip it out. About a half of a teaspoon. I'm going to add a little bit of my thyme, dried thyme leaves right in my soup. Another shake of garlic. Let's see. Now we've got to saute this. And while that's cooking a little bit, I'm going to get a bowl. Let's see what kind of bowl we can get. I think this will be big enough to put my taters in. I'm going to come over here and dice up my potatoes, not tomatoes, potatoes. Well, it may not all go on there, had they? There's my 2 potatoes. I'm going to dice up about a full stalk of celery. Or chop it up, not dice it. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in my pot. That's 1 stalk of celery. I've got a mixture of kale greens and perpetual spinach right out of the garden. I'm going to chop this up a little bit. I'm going to put that in my pot. I think that's everything I need to chop up. I didn't need that bowl after all. And I'm going to add just a little bit of water, because I did add a little bit of chicken stock, bouillon that is, about a tablespoon. And we're going to bring that to a boil and let it cook for a bit. Because those carrots seem like they take a long time to cook. I'll go ahead and finish sauteing my garlic and my onions. And you can see here I've already deboned the chicken carcass that I had. It made about 2 great big handfuls of chicken. That's probably good enough on that. I'm going to go ahead and add that garlic and onions and thyme right into my soup. Why is it when you want a pot to boil it doesn't? Get that going to a boil. I want it to start cooking my carrots before I add my potatoes. I didn't need these parsley flakes. I've got parsley. Finally, it's starting to boil. And we're going to add our 2 potatoes, chopped or cut up potatoes. Now, I'm just going to boil it until my carrots and my potatoes are tender. And then I'll bring you back and we'll finish our soup. Well, I'm back, y'all. I think my potatoes and my carrots are done. At this point, I'm going to add my chicken. Because remember, our chicken is already cooked. It's thoroughly cooked. We're going to add cannelli beans. If you don't have cannelli, you can use northern beans, already cooked now. Pinto beans, any type of a bean like that, or even a lima bean, already cooked. About 1 can of them, or 2 cups. You can add those right in there. We're going to stir that up. Y'all, this is going to be some good soup. It's a thick, hearty soup, and it's healthy. And I'm going to taste it for seasoning, see if I need to add salt or anything. That is so good. But I do need to add some pepper. About 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Or you can season it to your taste. It's up to you. Now we're just going to let that boil for another maybe 5 minutes. And while we're doing that, we're going to fix us some bread to go with it. I've got my broiler heating. I'm going to go ahead and put my bread in the broiler. And with mine, I have to almost stand on my head. I've got some bread sliced and buttered with a little bit of garlic. And I got to keep an eye on that because it gets brown pretty fast in my oven. Stir your soup occasionally while it's cooking that other 5 minutes. That's going to be something good right there. Yeah, I hate for you to see me standing on my head looking at my bread, but it's down in the bottom of the oven. So bear with me. By the time my bread gets toasted, our soup should be done. I guess we could turn it a little bit. There. Just starting to toast a little bit. But you gotta keep an eye on it because it will get too brown real fast. I think it's toasted enough. I don't want it burnt. We can turn that oven off. At this point, we can just go ahead and turn our soup, our pot of soup off. I've got a plate with a soup bowl here. Oh man, that looks so good. At this point, I'm going to shake on a little bit of Parmesan cheese. This is roasted Parmesan cheese, but you can just use just regular. And I'm going to shake on a little bit more of dried thyme. If you have fresh thyme, that's even better. I didn't have any, so I'm using the dried thyme leaves. I mean, it would look kind of like that if you used it. I put a little bit of parsley on there just instead. And there's your bread. How's that for a meal? How is that for a meal, y'all? This is my lunch, my dinner. Let's adjust this. Let me lower it just a little bit more. Whoops. My tripod is loose. There. But here's lunch, y'all. Man, don't this look good? Don't that look good, y'all? And it's still not the way I want it to be. Oh, let's see. Maybe just a little bit more. Yeah, that's a little better. I'll get it right in a minute, y'all. Bear with me. But here you go. And I was going to fix this for my lunch today anyway, because then I'll have something for dinner tonight. I'll have plenty of leftovers for tomorrow or the next day if I want it. But this is going to be some good eating. This is a real Tuscan chicken soup, y'all. You need to try it because I think you're going to like it. Let's get some of this up on my plate. Up on my fork. Yeah, my fork. My spoon. Cool it off. Dear Lord, bless this food I'm about to eat and bless everybody in YouTube land. Amen. But there you go, y'all. Y'all take the first bite. Steaming hot. Mmm. 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 Had to cool my tongue off. That tater was hot. Oh, it was hot. It burnt my tongue. So those taters need to cool a little bit before you put them in your mouth. Let's get a little piece of carrot, some of that kale, some of the chicken, the celery. Y'all take another spoonful of Tuscan chicken soup, y'all. It is so good. You gotta try it. It's not that difficult to make, and like I tell you, if you don't have the roast-seared chicken, just cook you a couple of chicken breasts in a pot. Take them out, debone them, shred them up, and then, do what I did. You know how to do the rest of it, but you don't have to have a whole chicken. You can just use 2 chicken breasts. You can use 2 chicken leg quarters, whatever you want. Just make sure you cook them first. I'll tell you what, these Tuscans and Italians knew what they were doing in cooking. Oh my God, this is so good, y'all. But it's so hot. Take a piece of my bread. And I just took some Italian bread, sliced it, buttered it, put a little bit of garlic powder on it, and then toasted it, just garlic bread. But it goes so good with this soup. It's a winning dish, y'all. Just don't eat it so hot that it burns your mouth like I just did. But this is some winning good soup, I tell you. But this is a way you can make a really good dish with a lot of ingredients right out of your garden, with some chicken and some garlic toast. I skipped breakfast. I was hungry. But I tell you what, it's already 2 o'clock. I'm sitting down to eat my lunch at 2 o'clock. But it was worth waiting for. That is so good. Y'all, I can't believe I made it. And it's so good. Well, I'm going to let y'all go. I'm going to finish eating my lunch. I don't want to make you sit here and just watch me eat. But please, try Tuscan chicken soup. You will love it. I'm telling you. And it's healthy. It's filling. Make your bread. You can make any type of a toasted bread or any type of bread you want to eat with it. I prefer to eat garlic bread, garlic toast, with my soup like this because it just goes together. But with that, I'm going to wish y'all a good day. Please like, share, and subscribe to my video.